Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. I had a video of a build I was doing, and as I went to go upload it, my computer ate it and I can't find it. So I'm trying this again. I finished my Stewart tank, and I'm working on my Merkaba. But in the interim, I was given a kit by my son-in-law. You know, it's a kit from my grandson, as a way to say thank you for babysitting him. You know, he didn't have to do that, but you know, it's a kind gesture and very well appreciated. So I got this for my grandson. It's a Revell AH1F Cobra Gunship. It's a 1/48 scale. It's a nice kit. Looking on here, it says it's got a copyright of 2012. And then looking at the actual kit, it seems that it was retooled, because I remember this kit and it didn't look like this before. So, if you give me a second, I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright guys, I had started to put it all together, and I was dry fitting it. I had painted the inside of it, and I was just putting the little fiddly parts on there and dry fitting it. But I want to show you that it's got some really nice detail. Excuse me, the only problem I have with the detail is that a lot of it is raised. And being raised detail, you got to be very careful. We all know that when you sand something off. Now, I know some people that'll sand this off and score it. I'm not going through all that. The seam lines, you know, when you put it together, I mean, it's nothing there. I mean, you can see it right now because I haven't. There it is. Nothing there. The only problem I have is when I go to sand this, because there is just a hint of one. There's a raised edge. Give me a second here. Right about there. And I got to be careful not to sand that down. So, I was thinking with this, and I'm going to research this a little bit more because I've never done one. But watching Panzerman's and channel gave me is motivating me to do dioramas. So I'd like to have this like on an angle like this here on a diorama with a 172 Russian, either a BMP from Iraq or a Russian tank with the top being blown off, and this guy, you know, in the air, right there. That's my hope. It's ambitious, but we'll see. I'm doing the little fiddly parts. Excuse me, I'll show you. Here's the gun. I got that done. You know, I just shot it black, a flat back, and then dry brushed some gun steel onto it. Nothing special. Got these guys all together, getting ready to paint them. Excuse me. I worked on. Oh, here's the motor, the actual turbine. I still need to paint that. It's got some really, you know, the sad part about this, it's got some really nice detail inside here that you'll never see. You know, there's some, like here, look, right in there. All that little detail in there, all this detail in here. There's some really nice detail up in here, right up in here. You're never going to see it because it's going to be inside the ship. But I'm still going to paint it up. Started working on, you know, like the rear propeller. I also started sanding that down, getting ready for paint with this. I put together, there's two of these. Excuse me, I'm getting a bad cold here. The missile pods, not those. And then you got these, the little rocket pods. I'm still half tempted to drill holes in there, but if I do that, there's nothing to cover that up, so we'll see. I might just drop some little, like some CA glue or some white glue in there to kind of simulate that there's some missiles in there, because it shows you in the back. It's got all the wires for the missiles, but there's the tops aren't peeking out here. Maybe they're not supposed to. I don't know. Then let me flip the camera. I want to show you the cockpit that I'm doing. So I'll be right back. All right, here's the cockpit. I'm letting all those decals, if I can get this to focus. I have some microsol on there, so I'm letting those set before I do anything else. Before I add the seats or anything in there. And you can see I got all the decals in there, right here in the back where the pilot sits, and then here where the gunner sits. You got all those decals up in there. Oh, here on either side, and left and right. I have the joystick here. Oh, come on, don't do that to me. There we go. I got that one here. I put the collective in there. So I got all that together. The seats here, they're really nice. The only problem is, you know, they got some really nice, if you see there, oh, come on, focus for me, will you? There we go. There we go. Well, it's not going to focus. There it is. There's some nice detail on this. You see those, the seat belts? Pretty cool. Problem is, once you sit the pilot in there, you're going to lose all that. Here, let me flip this back. Oh, here's Moshe. Look at him. Moshe! Yeah, he's still angry at me. Let me flip this right back. The decal sheet. You know, I don't know. It's all in register. I don't know about that. It looks nice to me. So, there's a decal sheet. Looks pretty good. As you see here, I've already started to use some. I'm going to go with a Desert Storm two-tone color on that. So, I believe it's these guys up here, but I want to use those. So, I'll probably end up using it. Too bad they don't have the Marine Corps on here. They have the Army, but they don't have a Marine Corps. So, oh well. But it's pretty cool. I wanted to do a kind of like a Vietnamese, you know, Vietnam era diorama, but this particular ship wasn't there. This is a later version. This is from the Gulf War. So this isn't the ship that was actually in Vietnam. So there's another thing. There's going to be a very big hobby convention here in right outside of Chicago called the iHobby, and it's billed as the biggest hobby show in the country. So I'm going to go there and see what kind of trouble I can get into. See if I can find a few kits here and there, and maybe some tools, you know, things like that. Also, I just got done watching one of Cohen's videos about that AK Interactive, that magazine. Yeah, I know how he feels. I got 2 daughters. I know exactly how he feels, man. You know, there's no place for that. You know, yeah, that's pandering to the lowest form. Is what that is. And that's pandering to our lower self. And there's no need for that. You know, you're pandering to the juvenile in all of us when you do that. And you know, I don't see what that. You know, they had something on their YouTube site. Or I'm sorry, their Facebook site like that too, and it was pretty disgusting. But anyway, good on you, Cohen, for calling them out on that. You know, I don't subscribe to their magazine, so you know. I learn everything I learn off of you guys. You know, watching videos and trial and error. You know, I don't do all that. I use some of their products, but that's about it. But anyway, there's going to be a big show on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm going to go check it out. Again, I had a build video, and my computer ate it, lost it, so I'm going to try to upload this one and see how it goes. Hopefully I'll have this done by the weekend, show you guys what I'm doing so I can get back to this Merkaba. You guys have a good one, man. A good night. Peace, brothers. It's the Red Dragon saying. Ciao, brothers.